In today's video, we're on a mission to push my deal hunting to the absolute maximum, to find out whether you can build a PA using nothing but sale items. I had a friend recently tell me that you can never buy everything you need on the sales, and I'm here to prove him wrong not once, but twice in this video. I'm going to attempt to spec out two completely different budget PAs using only things that can be found on the Cyber Week at Thomann, which is happening from today the 21st until the 1st of December, so loads of time for you to jump in on these deals if you want to grab one of these PAs. But will it actually work? Well, I don't know. I've got a hope that it will, but you have to wait till the end of this video to find out if I actually managed to do it. For me, I'll feel like I've succeeded if I've built two PAs which meet the following criteria. It needs to be compact and powerful, so this needs to be able to do pubs, clubs, wedding venues, nothing massive and outdoors, but your general venues that most bands will be doing. It also needs to be able to take an entire band. In my case, all of the band, bass, drums, guitar, vocals, all goes through the PA. So this PA needs to be able to take all of that and sound good in the process. And finally, it needs to hit two budgets. I'm going to set my lower budget at about £4,000 for mixer, speakers, lights, the whole lot, even microphones, hopefully. And then I'm going to go a bit more generous around the 10,000 mark for a lavish, best sounding, best performing PA you can buy. So two separate budgets, but loads of stuff to buy for each of them. So I'm hoping Thomann have loads of gear on sale to fit those budgets. So let's dive into the deals and see if I can actually pull this off. So here we are on Thomann. Obviously, I've not made it a secret that I love Thomann. I think it's the easiest site to navigate, which is going to make this so much easier for this challenge because there's quite a lot I want to try and get in these two PAs. And there's loads of deals on at the minute, up to 70% off some stuff, which is awesome. And it's so long, 21st of November to the 1st of December. And straight away, a wing rack. Could get a wing rack. It ends today though. I think they're doing these like kind of daily deals. So I'm going to try and avoid the things that are on daily deals where I can. If I pick one up by accident, then maybe I do. But I'm going to try and avoid them because I want you to be able to buy this stuff if you decide that this is the PA for you. This is the PA that you must have. I want you to be able to afford it. So let's have a look at their overview of all 1,118 deals. Okay, hopefully I'm okay. Hopefully it's not all guitars and SM7Bs. An SM7B could be cool. I used to gig live with an SM7B as a vocal mic. I think the first place we want to go though is mixers. We've got to have a mixer, else it's going to be pretty pointless. The X32, not going to grab that one. I've already said I'm not a massive fan of that mixer, so we're going to avoid that one. The Soundcraft UI24R could actually be a really good shout, especially if you're in a bigger band. We're only a 3-piece, so we've not got many people to think about. But if you've got a bigger band, you need more monitor outs, you need way more inputs. The UI24 is a really great price, $739. I mean, it's cheaper than some of the smaller mixers that are about, and it's got so much power in it, especially with you can plug in like a touch screen and use it as the interface as well. I think that's actually a banging deal. I don't think it's for us. I don't think it's the kind of thing I would take around, but this caught my eye. I've been looking at this mixer for ages. It looks so cool. It's made by Waves, who make the plugins for kind of recording if you've used them. I use those all the time. I'm using a Wave plugin on this mic right now. I think Waves plugins sound great, and this mixer actually looks so good. It's kind of like a Digico, but miniaturized, maybe, something like that. It lets you use the Waves plugins anyway. I'm sure this sounds amazing. This kind of would blow both of my budgets completely out of the water, so it's going to be an avoid today. But I hope one day in my life I will get hold of this beast. It's actually got enough inputs and outputs for my band, but it hasn't got that many. So if you're hoping you could spend $8,000 and do a massive band, you probably can't. Although it does load up to 80 channels, so it's not that bad. You just need to buy the external box for it as well. But this, I've brought this up loads of times, this would be ideal. I think this would be the perfect mixer for my budget rig. Main reasons: it's got more than enough inputs and outputs, 6 outs, 16 in, I think, and then like a stereo for your playback. More than enough inputs and outputs. It uses, it's got 2 headphone outs. I wonder if you can get another 2 mixers out of that. That might be possible. I'll have to have a look into that. I haven't looked at that yet. But one of the cool things about this is a lot of these compact mixers use a kind of non-standard power input. The QSC was well known for this being a bad thing. This Allen & Heath uses a standard 12 volt, granted a 5 amp, so like a laptop type 12 volt, but still a 12 volt that you can pick up. If you break it, you should be able to just pick up a spare really easily. Plus these 12 volt inputs are really easy to fix. I used to make a little side hustle fixing these on keyboards for schools. They're super easy to fix. They're like a 3-pin type deal. It means this is really repairable compared to things like the QSC. I think this is the mixer I'm going to go for my budget option. I actually didn't think they would have this mixer on here because it's relatively new. It's a relatively new mixer. So I'm going to go for that for my budget option. I could go for an SQ rack, but I think I already pointed out in a previous video, which I'll stick at the top somewhere, that I would actually go for the wing over this SQ rack. And I still stand by that, really. I don't think I would go for the SQ rack. Could go for the CQ12 if I didn't need as many inputs. I think having those extra knobs is kind of useful though, so obviously I would go for the 18. Ooh. Now, this looks tempting. The Yamaha DM3. This might not be applicable for some bands, mainly because of the lack of inputs and outputs on the mixer. It does take Dante, so it is expandable, but there's only 16 ins and 6 outs, 8 total. So this is not really massively different from that CQ, and it's quite a bit more money and uses one of those annoying extra special power adapters, which I just condemned. But this is a really cool mixer. It does lots of really great things. It's so easy to run. I think this is probably, for me, for my size band, for a 3-piece, there's more than enough inputs and outputs. I think this is what I'm going to go for. I don't know what, it's not any cheaper. What do we get? We get a case. I love, if there's one thing you can learn about me, I love a case. Cases are great. They make everything better. And this is a nice one. A Fon £259 case. So basically £259 off of the mixer. Yes. I think, unless I see something like way better for not a different amount of money, I think I'm going to go for the DM3 in my more expensive setup. But let's see what else they've got. Oh, they've got the Touch Mix. I do love my Touch Mix. I wouldn't go for a Touch Mix new now, I don't think, mainly because they have kind of discontinued it. They've stopped support for the app, which will become an issue in the future as Android and Apple come out with new iOSs. You're going to be not able to access this mixer anymore, which is a real shame because I think it is a great mixer, but that is an issue. SQ5 I think is probably a little out of our budget. Great mixer again. I would probably go for it, but spending over a quarter of the budget on the mixer might not be the wisest thing when I'm after so much stuff. I'm after a full PA. I could just go for a Digico. spend half the budget. That'd be interesting at the very least. You know, I actually think this Zoom Live Track L20R, maybe this can be an honourable mention. I actually think this is a good shout if you are just starting out, looking for an easy to control rack mountable mixer. It's still got physical controls on the front, so you can still control your compression and gain on the front of the mixer. It's got loads of headphone outputs, and they are stereo headphone outputs, I believe. So they're powered, so you would just need cables to run IEMs. Really, really useful. Plus it records internally. 400 quid. Is that right? 411 quid. Great shout. I think this is probably a really good shout. It might be a better shout than the CQ. The reason why I'm swaying towards the CQ still is that I think it's probably a better mixer. It's double the money. I think we've got the budget for that. I think we'll be okay. Still under $4,000, spending a good 900 quid on the mixer, which I just said was bad. I'm contradicting myself a lot today. Please listen, maybe. I don't know. I still think this is a good mixer. I think it's a good shout. If you were going for a lower budget again than $4,000, this could be a really good opt-in instead of the Allen and Heath. But I think we've got our mixers. So we've got the Allen and Heath for the budgeter one. And for the more spenny one, we've got that Yamaha DM3, which is a sweet mixer. Really cool mixer. Right. Time for speakers, I think. You can't really do much without speakers, especially if you're trying to do a PA system. Kind of necessary. Let's see what we got. I'm hoping we've got something that will do the job, but we'll find out because this top list not filling me with confidence. A little bit better. There's HK Polars. They're meant to be really good. I probably would do the job, but it might be a bit of a push. They've got the Sub 615. I've just done a video, which I'll link again at the top, about my 7 favourite subs, and one of those is the 612, which is the little brother of this one. It does limit though, and that's okay in a 12 where you can have multiple 12s because they're small and they don't take up a lot of room. In a 15, I think that's more of an issue. It's quite expensive as well, $550. I hope there's something better than that, but it could be an option. Heard good things about this A-Chat sub. These Ventis, I know this is a monitor, but you could easily use that as a front of house speaker. Nice speaker. FBT do some really good stuff. RCF Evox J-Mix, great option for kind of solo guys. The Turbosound IQ15. Now that might be a shout for our budget rig. I've used these in a previous video where I did a kind of budget PA system for like a sound engineer, and I picked 2 of these and 4 subs, and I know that sounds really good. I know that's a really pro system with speak on, lock in, ultranet. Like, these are really quite powerful speakers, especially if you're in the Behringer world. Might be an option. That might be a standby. That might be what we go for. The FMX12s are pretty decent as well. Those over those 15 subs might be okay. I mean, it's a bit weird using monitors, but could do it. Oh, we got the sub 12s. That's useful. We know they're good. Despite their limiting. And this actually could be a good combo. 2 of the RCFs, maybe 4 of those sub 12s. You'd be looking at, what's that? Kind of 1,200, 14, 15, $2,500 for that. And that would be pretty thumping. I reckon that would work quite well. Might be an option. Might be something we come back to. Here's an interesting one. You could go for the Box Pro A-Chat Rock and Roll bundle. That looks big. What is that? 12-inch tops and two aside on 8-inch subs. They are heavy. Did I just read that right? 43 kilos for the top and 52 for the subs. probably not for this system. But if I were just starting out doing sound, being like a sound engineer, and I was a kid, you know, 16 to 18, $4,000 is still a lot of money for them. You could get that probably, and you could start a business using this system. I'm 100% sure that this would sound absolutely okay. Not necessarily good, but absolutely okay. It might sound amazing. I don't know. I haven't heard it, but I've seen this rack system. It looks pretty solid. You're kind of set up there, ready to go, and it's so cheap. As a kid starting out, I think it's a great shout. As you move on through your career, you know, you make money, you'll probably make this back in 10 gigs, maybe less. And as you make more money through your career, you could upgrade your power amps, upgrade your speakers, upgrade just the speaker inside maybe, because the cabinets might be fine. I think that is a really solid starting point. If you are starting to do engineering stuff, it is not good for what I do. I'm not carrying something that heavy, but you know, honourable mention. We'll give it an honourable mention again. I'm getting a little bit concerned. We've got the Aviva subs. I believe these are very similar to the ELX subs, which I used to have. Really lightweight, not compact, very big, but they sounded pretty decent for the money. Could be a shout, but here... Oh, and they've got the RCF 8004s. Great subs. Really, really great subs. $2,500. Slightly out of our budget. But next to it, a PA I love, and something that might be perfect for the budget PA, is the DB Technologies ES802. I think this is a great sounding PA. The tops are a little prone to failing on this connector. They're made of plastic. You can get new ones. You can just screw it together. I know someone who did that. Really solid PA for the kind of thing I'm thinking about doing. The fact that it comes with cases, love cases. I think that's a great deal. I think these cases are really quite expensive normally as well. Yeah, £75 for the sub and £61 for the top. So like £135 just for the cases. That's quite a saving. I think for my budget one, I'm going to get 2 of those. And I actually just got a cool idea. Might get 2 of those and 2 of these. I said these are really good subs, but they limit. But I guess if we really bass boost these, just stick them next to the other subs, it's going to really help enforce the low end, because the low end is not weak out of those 802s. It's quite good actually, but it is a bit, it's quite punchy. It doesn't really add depth, and maybe adding a couple of these could add some depth for not a huge amount more money. What's that, £700 for 2 of these? We're looking quite good on the budget PA there. 2,630. We got a healthy, what's that, $1,500 to get everything else we might need. I like it. I like it. But we still need our more expensive PA, which I am a little concerned about. Because we haven't really come across anything that, like, we've come across some expensive stuff and some kind of lower range stuff. I want something not in the middle, something really nice, but these Gala sets are cool. These Gala sets are cool. Kind of cheaper again, I guess. Oh, how did I miss them? Oh, okay, all right. We've got something cool. Oh, 6,001. It's quite expensive, isn't it? I mean, that is both sides though. Could go 12-inch subs, but no. Did we go 12-inch subs? No. We're going to go 15-inch subs. I think that's going to get us that like chest rattle, good sub, low end. These Seeburg acoustic PAs are just actually pretty outstanding. Just amazing PAs. It looks like they're coming with the covers, which again, always expensive for covers. I don't know why. I guess in the grand scheme of things on this, they're not that expensive. They're about the same price as the DB Tech ones, and this is a £6,200 PA. So yeah, I like the look of this. I like the look of this a lot. How much? 30k for the sub with the power amp, 26 for the sub without the power amp, 12.5k for each of the tops. That is pretty decent. And they're rating this at 132 decibels. Pretty loud. And I know this will sound absolutely stunning. There is one thing that really puts me off with the Seeburg PAs, and that is, are they going to show it? Let me find it. Here it is. That is this. So your power goes into one sub, then that sub splits off to the other sub on the other side of the room, which splits off to the top, and this sub splits off to the top as well. So in essence, you've got one power amp powering the entire PA system. There's no fans on this power amp. There's no heat control. It really scares me that these will overheat, and then you're kind of up a creek without a paddle. You could carry a spare power amp. That is a possibility. But yeah, that is a little bit scary. But I know this is going to be a banging PA. I know this is going to sound absolutely great. And that is why that is going to be my expensive PA. I'm going to put that in the expensive basket. That's what we're going for. We've got a mixer, got tops and subs, which is quite impressive actually. Tops and subs for both things. What else could we need? Microphones. Microphones are very useful. If you haven't got any, like if you're buying a setup like this, maybe your mics. Let's have a look. Oh, this could be a great option for the budget PA actually. Set of drum mics with overheads by the looks of it. I mean, you're not going to use this full set more than likely, but it might be good for in-ears, and you've got some spare mics then as well for 178 quid. I mean, let's face it, they're not going to sound amazing, but they'll sound all right. They'll do the job, and that is why they are in the basket. What else could we need? We'll need vocal mics. We'll definitely need vocal mics, and I don't think a condenser is going to do the job. Oh, I don't want the 58. That's a good deal on that bundle. 105 quid with a stand and lead. I just don't want the 58. Let's find a better option than a 58, please. Ooh. Could be a good option for drum overheads for my more expensive setup. Yeah. They're going to be our drum overheads for the more expensive setup. They're really nice mics. I've got those and I really like them. Ooh. Now this is a good deal. 159 quid with a case. Love a case. E945s. These are great mics. I think you can probably get a cheaper mic. This might be an expensive mic. We might go for that in the expensive set. I could get Super Luxes. I think you should spend a bit of money on your vocal mic. It's kind of one of your most important parts. So let's spend a bit of money on our vocal mic. A wireless mic would be useful for, events. Oh, but we can get an adapter. Beautiful. These just plug into your mic. They turn it into a wireless. It does use... This is probably 2.45 gigahertz. Okay, that is in the basket. That is a great shout for a wireless option when you need it. Just plug those in. They're going to be solid at 5 gigahertz. I like it. I like it a lot. Not seeing much in the terms of kind of something more mid-rangey. for a vocal mic. Ooh. Do I get some nice drum mics? I haven't actually seen anything for a kick, and we will need some drum mics for our expensive setup. I think these are our expensive setup drum mics. I bet they sound great. I haven't actually tried these Nexodynes, but I've heard really good things. I'm going to say that is in the expensive PA. We're buying that. We're going to grab those. I hate to know how expensive the expensive PA is. I'm not tracking that one. I'm I'm going to go back and add that one up because I can only have one cart, obviously. And I really do want the cheap one to be affordable, you know. Ooh, we kind of run out of options. But we do have a wireless. That could be my expensive wireless mic. That could be my expensive wireless mic. 835S. Digital. I think it's 2.4. Maybe it's not digital, is it? The cool thing about Thomann is they tell you if it's usable in your area, and this one isn't. So that isn't an option for me. That's kind of sad. I thought I had a nice expensive digital mic there, and I do not. I don't really have a better option for my budget vocal mic either, so I'm going to go for this, the E945. Great option. It might be that is the option for my expensive mic as well, because it's kind of there. It's about the best mic I think I saw there, and this is about the best wireless, so that might be my expensive option also. But I kind of blew the drum mics are very expensive, so I've made up for it at the very least, and I saved up for it in the cheap one. So you know, that's a winner on my books. What we could really use, I don't know what this will come under. There must be a category for it. Probably need some kind of IEM. I think I'm just going to have to go PA and have a little search through. Oh, that's a good shout. The PowerPlay P2. Really solid little box for in-ear monitoring. Very good shout. That could be our budget option actually. How much was it? $22.60. Very budget. Very budget friendly. We like that. And another one, $16.90. All of these are basically the same. $16.90. Sold. $16.90 is sold, and we can each have one. We'll have 3 of those. Why not? Backup. Let's each have one. See what else there is. I don't think there's gonna be so much to search through, isn't there? Is there going to be a wireless IEMs? Some quite cool stuff on here actually. Have a look. No. We're gonna the bands. This could be an option. The U4. Quite like a U4. That could be the option. It's the U45. The U45 is not on sale here. It is on Amazon, but not here. So no cheating, Gary. You cannot do that. Let's grab one of those, I think. Unless I can find something better. Let's have a quick look. Speed look. This is my spenny option. Just spend money on Fisher in-ear sticks. I'm trying to be lavish. I'm trying to buy the best of the best. Of course we'll have in-ear sticks. They are literally almost £100 more than the other ones, and probably very similar in size, which is, that hurts a bit. But we're spending. I'll add that to the spenny PA. No, that's it. So for in-ears, for me in England, if you're in Europe, there's actually a few options by the looks of it. But for me in England, no good, I'm afraid. Okay, next thing's next. We have got in-ear monitoring, most of it wired, which is actually fine for my band. We run wired anyway, not a big issue. Let's have a look at some lights. We got to have lights. You're not really banding if you haven't got lights on the go, have you? And our DJ friends, they love lights. We all love lights. Ooh, here's a great option for those, for my more spenny set. 888 quid, very expensive. These Starstrips are awesome though, really great. DMX capable. They work so well as backlights. I would stick these on poles behind us, or really on anything you can. You might even be able to just put them on a foot stand. They look so good. I've used these in loads of videos. Starstrips, they're in the bag. These look so great. I know they're expensive, but it's an expensive PA. I've got to spend some money somewhere. That's a cool place to spend it, I think. What else we got here? I think it's going to be something like this for our budget option. I'll see what's going, but something like that will probably work quite well. These would be quite good. I like a moving wash. I think they look nice. I think they fill the space quite well. Add that movement without needing haze. 222 quid though. That's probably the spenny PA. I think it's probably that more expensive PA. I'll add 2 to the basket, but they might come out. They might have to go in the expensive one. Unless I can find an even more expensive one to go in there. Well, speaking about even more expensive, 433. They're just so bulky. That's a bit too big, I think. I don't think I'd want to take either of those two around. They look so bulky. Ooh, there are ape lights though. I do love ape lights. Ape lights look great, but they are always so expensive. These are a single LED on these, and they're 715. I mean, these are quite cool. These show bars. I'd be tempted. I mean, they're expensive for 4. 1 or 2 of these at the front of the more expensive rig, though, would look really good for washing the band with some colour, making sure that they're always lit up. I kind of like low-level lights, although it does get in your eyes if you're a shoegazer. If you're a shoegazer, maybe stick away from them. But I do like a low-level light. That's going to go in the expensive rig, I think. I think they look nice as well. 16 10-watt RGB AW, and it's IP65 rated. So when it gets a pint poured over it, is that right? Yeah, outdoor. So when you pour a pint over it, absolutely fine. No issues. That's actually the perfect kind of light for that, because, you know, they do get a bit grubby at the front of the stage on the floor. They've got a pretty solid foot there. Yeah, I think that's kind of the perfect floor light. It's expensive for a floor light, but it's quite good. I like that. More ApeLabs, the light cans, again quite expensive. I probably am going to have to put some ApeLabs in the honorary mention because I just love them. Like these Marvel floodlights, I think they're great par cans. They come in a case, they charge in the case as well. Really easy to kind of back up and keep charged. I like them. I'm probably going to stick some of those in my honorary mentions at the bottom. Oh, this is quite cool. So like a light bar with a foot control. Quite usable. Bit more than I was looking to spend really for our cheap system. I was looking for something a bit cheaper, to state the obvious. Come on. Oh, these could be good for the cheap system. £52. A pair of those hung up on the speaker stand. Look really nice. Yeah, let's stick 2 of those in the old basket. And then, oh, here we go. 4 party lights. Job done. £211. If you had a bit more budget, maybe you go for the bigger one. These are pretty decent. They're RGBW by the looks of it, or maybe just RGB. Oh no, RGBW. Single LEDs, which are always the best for the best output. That can go in the cheap basket. Ooh, we've tickled the £4,000 mark. That might be it for the for the basket. I mean, you've got a lot in there. That might be it for the budget PA. Like I said, you can lose those moving heads and get it down a bit cheaper. Let's see if we can find something nice and fancy for our bigger PA. Trying to think what we've got. I think we just do those cheaper washes, the ones that we put in the cheaper PA. I think they're more than enough. They're nice and compact. We've got that show bar at the front. What we could really do is some kind of strip light, some more strip lights maybe. Oh no, I forgot I bought those really, really expensive ones at the beginning. Yeah, those big white ones. Okay, well I think that's it. I think we've got all of our PA, maybe. This is going to be a long video, but we did it. 2 PAs. Let's run over them both right now. All right, so first up we got that budget PA. There is room that you could bring this price down if you wanted it to be more budget. I've given you some options throughout, different speaker combinations. You could lose the sub, you could swap the mixer out for something literally half the price. You might not even need the drum mics, so you could lose those. That's 200 quid out the window straight away. You might not need the wireless, another 60 quid. You might not need the wireless monitoring, another 200 quid. You could knock this down really quickly. In fact, I might do that in a second. But let's run through it anyway. We got the CQ18 ES802s with the extra subs on the 612s. We got the T-Bone drum mic set. We got the Fun Generation 5 GHz, 5.8 GHz wireless, which is awesome. Sennheiser vocal mic, 3 body packs as backups, plus a U4 wireless system, 2 moving washes, 2 gig bars to hang on the front and shoot out at the crowd, and then 1 par set just to come back at you. Now, like I said, if we wanted to reduce the price of this, we could get rid of the Stairville. We could get rid of the wireless, because if we don't need wireless, we don't need wireless. Get rid of the drum mics. We could lose the sub 16. We could change the Allen and Heath for the L20R. We could do that and lose our Allen and Heath. And this is so close to £2,000. It's a bonus PA. A bonus PA. £2,000 PA will be awesome. We'll do 90% of bands will be absolutely fine with this PA. £2,000 bonus PA. I would rather have the £4,000 PA with all the bells and whistles, but this could be your ultimate starter PA. Now let's have a look at that expensive one. Let me tally up, and I'll be back very swiftly. All right, we're back, and I've tallied up, and I've gone over slightly, quite a lot. I've gone over by about £1,000. I think I let myself run away with myself a bit, but it's an amazing PA that I've come out with. I'm actually not that upset that I'm £1,000 over. Let's go for it. We've got the Yamaha DM3 as our mixer. Really good mixer. Amazing options and sound quality. We've got the Seeburg acoustic line. 2 15-inch subs. 2 dual 8-inch tops. Really great PA. I've been looking at this PA for a long time. I would love to have £11,000 to buy it. The Shure Nexodyne drum mic bundle. Probably the best drum mic bundle you can buy, with 2 really great overheads, the Lewitt LCT 140s match pair with that added extra bar, which will probably make it easier to set up. The Fisher amp sticks, I know, we did not need these. I would have definitely gone for those Superlux ones, saved myself the best part of, well, actually this is one. If we had 3 of these, I'd be saving myself the best part of £100. So, but I did do 3 of the others, so let's do 3 of these. The X5U4, again, you might lose this, especially if you've got a singing guitarist, you're stuck down anyway. I forgot to add the microphones. Oh no, this is about to get slightly more expensive because I need to add a couple Sennheisers as well. One Sennheiser, because I only added 1 before. Even though we would technically need 2, we're going to add 1. And I guess the wireless as well, because there was only 1 option on the wireless. I forgot I didn't add these because they were in my other one. Let's do that quickly. Okay, it's gone up even more. We would definitely lose some of these things to bring it down to that 10 grand. I'll have a go at that in a second. We got those sun strips though, amazing light bars. We've got the Show Bar Pro, looks awesome, will really, really light up your band. Couple of the LED moving heads, again, just adds a load of movement, looks great on stage, doesn't need haze. Sennheiser mic, awesome. Fun generation plug and play. Again, I could lose these. I could lose that. For our band, we actually use an electric kit, so I could lose the drum mics, but I think we are not the norm on that front. So I'm going to say that we keep the drum mics for now because a lot of you guys will probably need them. Maybe not those ones, but I mean, if you're paying a lot for your PA and your drum kit, why not get the best ones? We lose this wireless, and if you really, really wanted to bring it down, you could lose those backlights as well, and that would bring you bang to 10 grand. I think my other PA, my full one, 11 grand, way better. I would go for that one. I would spend the extra grand. If you're already spending 10, what's 11 amongst friends, eh? But I'm quite pleased. I'm really pleased with what I've come out with, actually. 3 really great PAs at 3 different price points, all in Cyber Week. Nothing came out otherwise. Granted, we haven't got leads or stands. If you need those, you would need to buy those extra. But we've got cases for a lot of these things. We've got all the essential bits that we would want. I'm really pleased with that outcome. There is quite a bit of stuff that I'm really quite tempted to buy here. I think I'm quite tempted with another 802. I'm quite tempted with 2 of those 612 subs, and I'm really, really tempted by that Seeburg PA. I think that is going to sound amazing. It's just so much money, but maybe that is my next big buy, a lovely Seeburg PA. I don't know. If you like this video and want to see me build another PA, you can see me do that here. If you want to subscribe, you can go here. And until the next one, cheers.